Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. Beautiful day outside. Nice and warm, but I'm going to get this amp done, and I have a band switch to pack and some hardbot kits to get together and then pack and ship. So I'll show you what this thing needs, and my websites are amprepairguy.com, also harbackelectronics.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. This weekend I'm going to work on cleaning the bench off again, make it nice and pretty. Just so busy here. So busy. So, okay, so another thing I wanted to mention again, I'm going to mention in all my videos. If you want a 10% discount, go on pentalabs.com, put in ARG in the coupon code. That's Amp Repair Guy. I make nothing. I get nothing. Penta asked me to do it. So, you know, again, if someone sends an amp in for repair, like this customer, he gets 15% off. I make nothing. Penta doesn't give me anything. They don't give me a dime. You can ask Scott. You can ask anyone over there. So, like this amp, I have these tubes in stock. They send them to me. They're owned by Penta. A customer calls Penta, pays for them direct. And once they're paid for, they send me an email releasing the tubes. So, sorry, that's my phone going off. So, anyway, again, coupon code is ARG, like Amp Repair Guy. ARG, you have to go to pentalabs.com. Okay, so this is a older one. Grids aren't grounded, so I'll take the whole socket assembly out. And someone made a comment like, oh, just put a star washer under the screw. Yeah, they already have like a internal tooth crush washer. Crush/lock washer. But there's a fiber washer between the metal and the socket, and then you have the ring terminal and then the nut. So that fiber washer shrinks over time, and a lot of times straight up from the factory it's loose, and you don't want to go through a screw, you know, to make your electrical connection. It's always better to go to the metal, and this comes out anyway. It's not like it's some extra thing. I take this out anyway because a lot of times the clips, they're spread because people plug the tubes in at an angle. And I also am taking it out to put the gas discharge tubes right below the sockets. Like this one doesn't have a gas discharge tube. Newer ones have one on the board. I take that off, take the MOVs out. Someone call me now. Never ends. So the reason I've explained why I do that is so if a tube were to flash in 811, doesn't happen with the 572s, but 811, if it were to flash from anode to cathode, it'll backfeed up through the board and mess traces up on the board before it gets to the gas discharge tube. And then if you don't have gas discharge tube, you can backfeed into your transceiver, take out your receiver, and you don't want that to happen. So it's just cheap insurance. So someone messed with the coil here. I'm going to just change this. I tried bending it back, but it's like, I'm not going to charge you for that. But so I'll swap that coil out. Has the old pink resistors, and if it had different caps, I would just change the resistors if they're within tolerance. So it's going to get new caps, new resistors. Has the old arrow caps. Has a different plug on the cord. So I'm going to check. I'll check the jumpers on the back. Someone may have swapped it from 120 to 240 at some point. A lot of times they do a sloppy job, so I'll fix that if it's messy. Needs a new plate choke. Someone opened up the wire in this one and twisted and soldered it, so I'll swap the plate choke. I'm going to take the parasitic board out, look at it really quick. I have I'll be selling these parasitic boards, so I'm going to put one of these together. Actually, I'm going to slap it in here and give it a shot. I'm not going to charge them for it. I'm just going to put it in here and try it. And I always verify things before I sell them. So his board, if it's okay, I'll just leave this. I'm sure it is, but seeing as I have an amp here that'll be all set and ready for one, I'll swap it in and try it. So, and then I'll have that one for sale. And I have other boards. I have lots of other things that are for sale, like this. This goes in the newer EL80Bs, the L800s, and AL572. So it'll be populated. Okay, so get new SO239s from Max Gain Systems. Great people over there. It's obviously getting new Penta Labs tubes, the 572s. 811 tubes are just horrible. They just ate the Chinese ones. They fail so bad. And with the dealer price, with the 15% off they get, they're basically the same as an 811 if you were to buy them at the regular price. Okay, so It's just, when I'm done with something, I want it to be one and done, period. So this thing should last the rest of the customer's life. I'll clean the relay contacts, the input and output rotary switch contacts, and do everything else. Okay, so I'm going to get to work, and I will see you guys soon. Stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so I have the socket assembly out, and this is why I take it out. Look. Missing one of the clips. The tension clips on that socket. And it's missing 2 on that socket. So, I don't know what happened, but they are gone. Just always make sure you plug the tubes in straight. Okay. And that the 2 large pins go in the 2 large holes, and the 2 smaller diameter pins go in the 2 smaller diameter holes. Okay, I'm going to bend this back, the center hole. See how it's distorted right there. I'll fix that. The choke was slanted sideways. I don't know what happened there, but okay, I'll see you guys soon. We are back with the bottom of the socket assembly here. Okay, so I replaced the clips. I carefully compressed the socket assembly clips. Those other clips that were missing are the ones that hold the tension on the clips that grip the tube pins. Okay, so added the gas discharge tubes. Each grid connection's connected right to the chassis. Plate choke, new plate choke's nice and straight now. I fixed the deformation in the metal. It was crooked before, so I don't know what happened there. So these are the little fiber washers that dry up, or whatever happens, they shrink a little bit and then the nuts become loose. So even if you have a split, some have a split washer. Some of these came with a split washer on the top at the socket side. Some came with an internal tooth lock washer. That's you know, okay, it's fine and dandy for holding the socket in place, but you don't want the grid connection going through the screw. I mean, this is coming out anyway, so I just do it, you know. So I don't know how many people actually take this whole assembly out, but you know, this guy didn't say anything about, I mean, sorry, the customer didn't say anything about filament being, you know, like one of the filaments not lighting or whatever. So, you know, unless you take it out, you know, you won't know, you know. So you know, if he said, you know, filament's not lighting or whatever, we'll, okay, maybe a, you know, socket issue or something, you know, but he didn't say that or anything. So, you know, if I hadn't taken it out, I wouldn't have known. So I just take, you know, I take every step, you know. I don't skip any steps, and it's best to make sure you cover all the bases and not miss anything. Okay, so got the new SO239s installed, got the diodes installed. Okay, so let me talk about this. So the newer ones have a string of diodes in series with the center tap, 6 of them. If you go to ground the grids, you have to add the diodes. Let me explain that. So with no diodes, if you were to ground the grids, you're going to end up with more instability because the tubes will be biased on harder. Tubes are going to operate hotter, and you're going to pull more power from the wall, you know, with tubes biased on harder. So it's best to have that string of diodes in, and you have to put them in, otherwise you get, like I say, you can have instability problems. So I connect 6 in series, and first I cut the trace, and then I put 6 in series. I solder them to the trace, and I put some silicone between the diodes and the board to give them some extra support. And then I add the wire for the bias mod, which Ameritron started doing, which puts the tubes in. It's a voltage divider circuit that helps with stability. It puts the tubes into a deeper cutoff when, you know, it's unkeyed. Okay, so that's about it for now. Everything's zip tied. Restrip the wires here, and I'm gonna get back to work. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys soon. And this nut was really loose too. I always check that. So I learned a long time ago, you always want a really good grid connection. There's only 1 grid pin per tube, so you want a really good connection for the grid. A triode has 1 grid, tetrode 2 grid. So, you know, this triode is set up grounded grid. You want a really good connection, low inductance connection between the grid back to the tune cap. So that's through the It'll be through the metal piece, you know, the socket assembly, down the standoffs, through the metal, over to the plate tune cap. You don't want to go through a screw or an intermittent, you know. That's a recipe for disaster for cooking a tube. And, you know, people, you know, may wonder why Penta gives me that 15% from my customers when they send amps here. Because Penta knows that when an amp is worked on by me, repaired by me, less likely there's going to be an issue down the road with warranty issue or something. Because, you know, if a customer just bought, like an amp like this, just bought a brand new set of tubes, plugged them in, could end up smoking the tube. Then they have to send it back to Penta and have to test it and everything and figure out that, you know, something went on with the customer's amp. So they know they don't have to deal with all that. So they give me, you know, the discount for my customers, and, you know, they reap the reward because it's less headache for them. More money, you know, time is money, less money, and, you know, involved with paying someone over at Penta to diagnose issues when people send things in for warranty. And then a lot of times people plug an amp, a tube in to an amp with a situation like this, and then they blame it on the tube. It's like, oh, something happened. Must be because it's a China tube, but I don't have problems with these tubes when the amplifier is correct. That's the key, having everything correct. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to work and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so I fixed the jumpers, put new ones in. I had these copper ones in, but they were poorly soldered, and I tried to touch them up, but it just wasn't working out, so I just replaced them. So I always pull out a 2-aught carbon comp. I have a million of them here, and I'll cut the leads off. I use those for the jumpers, and now it looks good. So everything else is done. Gonna ask the customer what band he wants to see it working on. I'm gonna plug a set of tubes in and fire it up. See you guys soon. So we're back with the completed Al811h. Customer wants to see it working on 10 meters. Radio set to roughly 90 or so watts, about 90 watts. 1 kW slug, bird 43, PP kit is on. Show you the amp. Settings, band, audio, hello, 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 hello. Audio, 800, 800, 800, audio, hello, hello, hello. Audio, hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Sorry for the sniffles. Almost 100% better from being sick. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Audio. Hello, 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 and it's working as it should. Okay, so let the tubes cool off for a second. I'll shut it off. Let the high voltage bleed down, and then I'll unplug it, take the cover off, make sure there's no high voltage, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, see you guys soon. So I decided the parasitic board will be a separate video. So this board was fine, didn't have to mess with it. So here are the old caps. These Arrow ones, I always change them because they're so old, they always fail. Okay, so the pink resistors have been taken out. Got the old style SO239s removed, new ones put in. Got the new Chemet caps. These are the best caps, just awesome caps. Brand new resistors, brand spanking new. Buy them from DigiKey and Mauser. So brand new set of Penta tubes. Awesome company. Put a longer screw in the base of the plate choke, longer screw in the top of the plate choke. Brand new plate choke. Meter protection diode was okay. Did the bias modification. String of diodes on the rear board, or replaced this coil over here. Didn't charge for that. Resecured the safety choke. So if a plate blocker were to fail, you'd have DC trying to go out through the output of the amp to the output connector and coax and everything. So that if that were to happen, that choke brings it to ground and puts a hard short on the plate supply. So you always want to make sure you resecure that. So brand new SO239s from Max Gain Systems. Awesome people there too. Clean the TR/bias relay contacts, compressed the socket clips, replaced the retaining clips that were missing, cleaned the clips with the deoxy gold. So straightened out the metal where the choke mounts, now it's straight. Place those jumpers for the 120 wiring. Check the plug on the end of the cord. Clean the input rotary switch with deoxy gold and the output rotary switch / band switch with deoxy gold. Check the fuses, has the proper size fuses, zip tied everything nice. and tighten up on hardware, especially the ones for the capacitors, and also the screws for the back board on the inside and outside of the board. So checked everything over, and she is good. So if you need amp repaired, feel free to give me a call. And again, if you want that 10% discount, if you're not sending an amp in, go on pentalabs.com and put in ARG. That's for amp repair guy, but abbreviated ARG for the coupon code. I make nothing, I get nothing, but you'll get a discount. And that's about it. So if you need an amp repaired, give me a call. Oh, one other thing, I also fixed the lead for the neutralization circuit. It was like way too long touching, and it was touching one of the tubes, so I straightened all that out, and also tightened up on all these standoffs. A lot of them were loose, so I go in with a wrench when this is all out, and if I make sure the screw's not turning, and I go in a 1/4" wrench and I snug them all up really tight. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hope everyone has a great day. More to come. Just waiting on parts. Okay, 73.